Good morning, guys. I'm going to go over section 1 of the study guide real quick and hopefully help you out in the process. So, section 1 is actually pretty simple except for one slightly confusing thing. You can look over here, see all these nouns are nominative. So all of these sentences already have their subject, and really you have to choose between the dative or the accusative form. So, what's the difference? All of these are just missing a direct object, which normally would just be accusative, except this section is about identifying the special verbs that we've kind of talked about. So, this first sentence, salutat, answer will be actorum, the accusative form. The second one though, the merchant blank fawet, we want to say the merchant supports the actor. This one will be actori, the dative form. Why the difference? Because there's literally no difference in meaning or in structure. The first one is the merchant greets the actor. This is the merchant supports the actor. Let's look over here. Here you go. Alright, so 99% of the time the direct object in a sentence in Latin is going to have its accusative form, except there are these few verbs whose direct object is dative and not accusative. These are the rich children find pennies verbs, or I'm just going to call them rich verbs. And they are respondet for responds, credit for trusts, fawet for supports or favors, and placet for pleases. These four verbs, their direct object is going to be dative. And in that section, that's literally all you're identifying. Let me stretch this down a little bit. Okay. So there are two examples on the bottom once this little thing goes away. The first one is the girl punches the boy, or puella, puerum, pulsat. Puerum, which is the direct object in this sentence, as you can see, is in the accusative case. It ends in um. Well, once this helpful little bar goes away, we'll look at the bottom one. Okay, so the girl supports the boy. Same thing, regular direct object, but the Latin sentence is puella, puero, fawet. Notice the difference between puerum and puero. Even though they're both direct objects, just because the verb of the second sentence is fawet, one of these so-called rich verbs, the direct object is going to be in the dative case, which we normally just translate as to or for, but in this case we don't. So let's go back. Put really simply, in this section, you're just looking to see what the verb is, and if it's one of those rich verbs, then you choose the dative. If it's one of the normal, if it's one of the other hundreds of thousands of verbs, that's normal, then you choose the accusative. So salutat, not a rich verb, so we go with servum, the accusative form. Fawet, that is one of the rich verbs, so we're going to go with servo, the dative form. Spectat, that's not a rich verb. We're going to go with gladiatoris. Credit, that is a rich verb, so we're going to go with gladiatoribus, the dative form. Credit, that is a rich verb, so we're going to go with amicis. Laudat, that is not a rich verb, so we're going to go with amicos. Salutat, that's not a rich verb either, so we're going to go with athleton. And respondit, that is a rich verb, so we're going to go with quinto. Put very simply, that is how you do section 1. There are questions just like this on the test. It's important. Two things are important. One, that you remember what the rich verbs are. Remember, rich children find pennies. Respondit, credit, fawet, and placet for responds, favors, believes, and pleases. And the second thing that's important is that you're able to identify the dative form. Your safety net are the charts on the wall. So look up and make sure that what you're choosing is dative if you're looking for a dative, and is accusative if you're looking for accusative, and that is all you need to do for section 1.